you a seasoned business owner that's making six figures and struggling to get to the next level? Well, if you are, I got a solution to your problem. It's very common, and many business owners suffer it because that's why you have so many folks at certain income levels. But be sure to watch the video and also ask some really good questions in the comments. Who knows? You might get that $1 million insight that'll literally change your business. Hey, this is Glendon Cameron, founder of B School for Hustlers. This is for seasoned business owners who want to take their business further. If you're six figures, you want to make seven. If you're at seven figures, you want to make eight. This is the channel that'll help you get there. All right, let's talk about people who are at the six-figure income mark, which could be, minimum $8,500 a month. If you're doing $8,500 a month, you're at that six-figure mark. That's gross revenue. That's not net. Now, where most people tend to stall out at that mark is about $8,500 per month up to around $15,000 per month gross revenues, and then it just doesn't really scale anymore than that, because you'll hear people, talk about that's where they are. There are courses designated for those income ranges. Now, it is very, very hard to go from 0 to 100,000. So with that, congratulations for breaking that barrier. Most folks never break it. Now, it is even harder to go from 100K to $1 million, and this is why. Once you get to a certain level, the business has to have systems and processes and employees. Yes, the E word. And many entrepreneurs who may be brilliant at what they do are not necessarily good managers. I'm going to give you an example of some stuff that I'm currently going through. For those who come later, this is April 22nd, 2017. Recently, I'm growing one of my businesses, and I am helping a client grow their business. And I've made some very bad hiring decisions. A little background. I've hired well over 150 people for various companies that I've created or worked for, but that was from the 2017, like 10 years ago. Things have changed drastically, and I didn't really understand this thing of dealing with millennials. Well, I hired 5 people and I had to fire 3. That is not a good ratio. Now, the reason I'm being candid with you is I don't take that notion that, oh, I can't do this. Right now, I suck at hiring. So what I did is I reached out to a friend who was a recruiter, one of my good hires. The people are going to be working with that person, so they're doing the interviews. And we've gotten better filtering. We've gotten better process, and I'll solve that problem of not being able to hire, because it's that important. Because what many people will do is just walk away from it. They'll just like, well, we're not going to do this, or they'll continue to try to scale by themselves or using freelancers, and you'll have a few people that'll work. If you're selling digital products, it's a different ball game. You're selling physical products, or you're selling the kind of service, it's not going to work out as easy if you're selling digital products. I sell both. I sell digital products, and I have a consulting business. Now, right now, the consulting business is growing very fast in comparison to the digital products business, because I need to do something a little different. I've changed tactics, and with that, I need to hire people. And as rough as it is, I have to do it. And with hiring people, then you have to create, I was in the military, standard operating procedures, your SOP. You got to create these processes. And what is the process? One of the people that we're going to hire is a customer service rep for one of my clients. This person is going to have scripts to say on the phone. This person's going to have stuff taped to their desk on how to perform in any given situation. That is a system that automates, because now the person's empowered to make decisions and help the customer without having to say, hold on, I need to talk to management. You really want, hey, hold on, I need to talk to management, to be very, very rare. Sometimes you're going to have an unusual situation where you got to talk to a manager. But day to day, that shouldn't be the case. They shouldn't have to hop off the phone, find the manager to get back to a client. If you're calling up a company and they have to do that, they don't have systems and processes. They're just kind of going along as they are. Now, you can become very rich doing that, but it's stressful. Once you get the systems and the processes together, then it's easier to scale because you as the business owner are not in the business. You're working on the business because you have people and business assets deployed to help you make money while you're working on growing the business versus you being in the business. Now with that, I'm gonna recommend this book. It's called Rework by Jason Fried. And you should get that book and read it, and you should do every job in your company briefly so you have a clue to what that job entails. I'll give you an example. One of the people that I had to fire was a graphic artist who claimed to be a graphic artist, let's put it that way. I have an art background. I was able to do comparable artwork faster than this person who was hired to take that off of me. But since I knew how it went and I knew how to communicate with the person, they didn't last long. But if you are someone who has no insight, you don't know how that business works, then yeah, it could be very, very challenging to hire that person and manage that person because there's so many things that you don't know as a business owner that they do as a specialist in that business that they can really bamboozle the fuck out of you. But if you, and I'm not talking about you spend years, weeks, a few weeks working that job, learning the lingo, setting it up, can go a long way in helping you hire people for the future. Now, you got to have the systems and the processes, and I don't care what kind of business that you have. You can have a window washing business and you can have systems and processes. Recently I had my carpet cleaned in the basement and the guy came in and I could tell this company had systems and processes. He came in, he explained a few things, and he followed certain steps. First thing he did, he came in, assessed the area, asked me these questions. Second thing he did, because I hadn't moved the furniture and stuff out, is he went and looked for the rough spots. Then he pre-treated the area, and I noticed how he pre-treated the area. He went to the corner and walls and he had a pattern. It wasn't willy-nilly. He had a dedicated pattern on treating there, and this was Chem-Dry. Then he comes in with this pad and a buffer, and it worked really, really well. I was very impressed. I'll definitely use that company again. And he did the same thing for the stairs. Got the carpet cleaned. Was very, he was in and out really quick. He said, okay, give it an hour to totally dry for, to be sure 2 hours. I was leaving the house to go back to the office. So I was going to be gone for most of the day, so that was fun. But the thing is, it will left an impression on me because if you own a window washing business and your guy comes in, he's suited and booted, he's got the uniform on, not a t-shirt, but an actual shirt, and he comes in and he explains to the customer what he's going to do, because that's going to be the thing is presentation of work to be done. Then as he's doing stuff, and it's like, okay, well, the reason I start here, that instills confidence. Confidence instills referrals. And any business, you can do that. I don't care if you're making cookies. I don't care if you're making chocolate. I don't care if you are grooming animals. There always is room for systems and processes. Now, the importance of getting your systems and processes down is you want to make them simple. When they are simple, then you can go out and hire someone and they can come in and then very shortly be up to speed where they're actually making money for your company. And also, more importantly, they feel confident. They feel very confident in their ability to do the job. That is very important because many people, well, all people, no one likes looking foolish. So you have someone in this job, they can't perform, they're looking foolish, you're pissed, they want to leave, they're looking for other jobs, you're like, one more thing and I'm gonna fire them, and then it's over, it's a wrap. But by having this together, and that's one of the things that we're building. You need an employee handbook. You need to sit down and spend some time writing out job descriptions. Very important. Then you need to create these systems and processes. Now, if you don't know how to do that, there's so many sources online to help you with the basics, because each company is going to be different. It's going to be very different on how you deploy your systems and processes, because one of the great joys of being a business owner is you can set your thing up any way that you want to. You don't go out and set up a business that you hate. Who does that? So you can set it up around your personality. If you want to have dogs in the office, you can set it up where we have dogs in the office and put out like, hey, if you're not a dog person, this environment may not be for you. There's so many ways that you can do this. And it is pivotal to the growth of your company that you start deploying these systems, processes, standard operating procedures as soon as possible. Because I'm going to give you an example of what many entrepreneurs do, and then when they get to a certain income level, regardless of how many hours they work, they just can't make any more money. Years ago, there was this guy. He created these molds that made Frankenstein etchings on pumpkins, right? Franken pumpkins. And essentially what happens is when the pumpkin is growing, they take the mold when the pumpkin's at a certain point and they put it over the pumpkin. And the pumpkin grows into the mold, right? Now, the pumpkin is capable of growing much bigger than it is with the mold on it. But because the mold constricts the growth of the pumpkin so it can fit. Got that pumpkin mold, right? And it limits the growth of the pumpkin. But the pumpkin can grow much bigger than the mold. Many people inadvertently, unintentionally put a mold on their business, and that limits growth. Many businesses, regardless of how many hours you put in, how much hard work you do, they're just never going to grow because you've put some kind of structural mold around the business and it just can't grow. That's one of the things about systems and processes and why they're so important. Now, we'll be talking about that stuff and a lot more on this channel, so be sure to subscribe. And if you want more, that stuff you have to pay for, go below the video, get on my email list for special offers and things like that. All right, once again, if you got any questions or anything, just put them in the comments and we will discuss them. Be sure to subscribe to B School for Hustlers. I'll see you in the next video.